Hello, my name is Bridget Arimond. I'm a clinical professor of law and the director of the LLM program in International Human Rights at Northwestern Pritzker School of Law in Chicago in the USA. The area that I work in is really the practical application of human rights norms using human rights mechanisms as well as domestic courts in order to address violations of human rights. In my clinic class, my students and I address problems in human rights both in the United States, for example, treatment of migrants in the United States, and also around the world where we've collaborated with NGOs in Sri Lanka on LGBT rights, in Colombia on the rights of regarding landmine issues in the conflict in Colombia, or in Ethiopia where we work with an indigenous community that's being poisoned by a privately owned gold mine. All together, I try to teach my students what the norms and jurisprudence of international human rights law is, and how to use the techniques of lawyers, the practical skills, in order to actually address human rights violations that are happening in various parts of the world, including the United States. It's been such a pleasure to come here to be part of this first ever conference of the ICON-S chapter, Georgia chapter of ICON-S. It is very impressive that Georgian academics and lawyers have decided to have a chapter of ICON-S. It really brings them into a worldwide discussion of the really critical issues of public law and democracy that are facing all of us really in the world today. This conference, I believe, has been exceptional. The participation of academics and students from so many schools throughout Georgia is very impressive, as is the range of important topics that have been covered in the various panel discussions that have taken place. Particularly for our first conference, it is really extraordinary, and it puts the ICON-S Georgia on really firm footing for the work that it will do in the future. I hope that I'll have the opportunity to collaborate again. I'm very honored that I've been invited to participate in a panel and to offer a keynote address here, and I hope that the partnership that we've established will continue. I've been coming to Georgia since 2015 in the context of the Rule of Law program supported by USAID. I've come to really to learn some and to really enjoy and be impressed with so much that's going on in Georgia today. There is such a vibrant civil society here. There are so many impressive universities that are teaching the next generation of human rights defenders and lawyers and citizens. That the future, I think, is bright, very bright, if the people of Georgia can continue to the efforts that are so apparent to democratize, to respect human rights, to do what they can to reform their society, to be a more perfect recognition of the rights that must be respected everywhere, just as in the United States we're trying to do the work of having a greater allegiance to the norms and requirements of human rights law.